Hello friends, let's balance one more chemical equation. This equation is for the reaction between sulfur and concentrated nitric acid. The reaction is sulfur plus HNO3 gives H2SO4 plus H2O plus NO2. By the traditional hit and trial method, I have noted down the atoms present on the reactants as well as the product side. They are sulfur, nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen. Sulfur at the left hand side, how many atoms are there? At the left hand side, sulfur, we can list out now. Sulfur at the left hand side, only one time. Sulfur at the right hand side, also only one time. Nitrogen at the left hand side, only one time. Nitrogen at the product side, also only one time. Oxygen at the reactant side, hydrogen at the reactant side, only one time. Hydrogen at the product side, 2 plus 2, 4 times. In sulfuric acid, hydrogen is 2 times. In water, hydrogen is 2 times. Oxygen at the left hand side is 3 times. Oxygen at the right hand side, 4 plus 1, 5 plus 2, 7 times. 7 times. Now sulfur and nitrogen are both the sides equal, but hydrogen and oxygen are not equal. Now hydrogen, if we try, right hand side 4 times, but the left hand side only one time. So what we can do, we can multiply this 1 by, what's that, 4. Where is this 4 we need to place before the formula of nitric acid as a coefficient. So when we multiply this 4 with the nitric acid, nitrogen at the left hand side becomes 4 and oxygen at the left hand side becomes 4 times 3, 12. Nitrogen at the right hand side, it is only one time, so what we can do, multiply by 4 times. So where this 4 has to be placed before the formula of nitrogen dioxide. When we multiply, oxygen will change at the right hand side. That is now 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus 1, 9. 9 plus 4, 13. Now oxygen becomes 13. Now when we check all the atoms on the left hand side as well as the right hand side, sulfur, nitrogen, hydrogen are equal on both the sides. But oxygen alone is not equal on both the sides. At left hand side 12 times, but the right hand side 13 times. So by this trial and error method or hit and trial method, if we proceed, it takes much time. So in order to make our job easy, we can switch to another method, that is, as we know, nitric acid is a powerful oxidizing agent. The first step, it will supply nascent oxygen atom, that is HNO3. It decomposes to give H2O, NO2, and oxygen. This equation we can consider as the first equation. We can number the equation. This number is first. This is the first equation. At the first equation, first of all, we need to balance hydrogen at the left hand side only one time, but the right hand side two times. Therefore, this nitric acid we need to multiply by two times. When we multiply this nitrogen two times at the left hand side, the right hand side nitrogen only one time only it's mentioned. Therefore, this nitrogen dioxide also has to be multiplied by two times. Now, when we check the other oxygen atom, left hand side 2 3s are 6. Now, right hand side oxygen atom in water 1 oxygen, in nitrogen dioxide 2 times 2 4, 4 plus 1 5 plus 1 6. So now all the atoms are equal at the equation 1. So the equation 1 is balanced. Now the oxygen, that is the nascent oxygen obtained at the first equation, will react with the sulfur. So that nascent oxygen, actually the reaction is between sulfur and nitric acid. But during this reaction, the first stage, the nitric acid decomposes to supply what is that nascent oxygen. That nascent oxygen only will react with the sulfur. So when sulfur reacts with oxygen, nascent oxygen, we have got the product sulfur trioxide. Now this equation we can consider as second equation. Second equation. The second equation also we need to balance. Sulfur both side equal. But oxygen right hand side three times, but the left hand side only one time. So this nascent oxygen we need to multiply by three times. Now the second equation is balanced. But at the second equation we have got 3 moles of nascent oxygen. These 3 moles of nascent oxygen are obtained from where? From the first equation. From the first equation only we have got the nascent oxygen. That nascent oxygen only will undergo the reaction with the sulfur. So, at the second equation, if the number of moles of nascent oxygen is 3 times, then the first equation, the number of moles of nascent oxygen also must be 3 times. So, what we need to do, the first equation as a whole, we need to multiply by this as a whole, we need to multiply by 3 times. Then only the value will not change. So accordingly, this nascent oxygen will become 3 times. But nitrogen dioxide already it was mentioned 2. So when we multiply by 3, 3 times 2, it will become now 6. 6 times. Water already 1 time. Now we can place 3 times when we multiply by 3. Nitric acid, how many moles? 2 moles already we have mentioned. But after multiplication by 3, it will become 6 times. Now equation 1 and 2 are balanced. Now the sulfur trioxide obtained at the second equation will react with water. As a result, we have got sulphuric acid H2SO4. This is the equation number 3. This equation also we need to check whether it's balanced or not. Hydrogen both the sides 2 atoms. Sulfur both the sides 1 atom. Oxygen both the sides 4 atoms. So all the atoms are equal for the reaction for the equation 3. So equation 3 is self-balance. What we need to do, the next step, we need to add all the 3 equations together. So when we add all the 3 equations, what's the rule we need to follow? The same substances on the opposite sides of the equations have to be cancelled. So now we need to add all the three equations. So when we are adding all the three equations, we are adding all the three equations, add. While we are adding, same substances on the opposite side will be cancelled. Same substances on the opposite side will be cancelled. At the first equation, 3 moles of nascent oxygen on the right hand side, but the second equation, 3 moles of nascent oxygen at the left hand side. So these will be cancelled. At the second equation, sulfur trioxide is on the right hand side. At the third equation, sulfur trioxide is at the left hand side. So this also we can cancel because they are at the opposite sides. Remaining substances what are left out on the reactant side, we need to write as they are. So when we are writing, what are the substances? Here sulfur is left out. Sulfur, 1 mole of sulfur, plus what else left out? Now here water is left out. At the third equation, water, 1 mole of water, but at the first equation 3 moles of water on the right hand side. Here at the third equation, 1 mole of water on the left hand side. So this water and this 3 we can cancel. Now 3 minus 1, it will become 2 times. So now at the left hand side, after the sulfur, what else is left out? 6 moles of nitric acid. So now we can write 6 moles of nitric acid, 6HNO3. 6HNO3 gives, at the right hand side, what are the substances left out? H2SO4. At the third equation, H2SO4 plus. Then second equation, everything is over. At the first equation, what are the things left out? Two substances. What are they? 2 moles of water. 2 moles of water and 6 moles of nitrogen dioxide. 6 moles of nitrogen dioxide. Now when we check the final equation, all the atoms on the left hand side as well as the right hand side are equal. So the final balance equation will be, what is that? This only we are writing again, that is sulfur plus 6 moles of nitric acid. 6 moles of nitric acid gives sulfuric acid H2SO4. H2SO4. Then what we have got, 2 moles of water and 6 moles of nitrogen dioxide plus 2 moles of water and 6 moles of nitrogen dioxide. 6 moles of nitrogen dioxide. Now when we check the atoms, sulfur both sides only 1 atom. Hydrogen atom left hand side 6. Right hand side in sulfuric acid 2 times. In water 2 times 2 4. So 4 plus 2 6. Hydrogen both sides equal. Nitrogen. Nitrogen left hand side 6. Right hand side also 6 times. Oxygen left hand side 3 6 or 18. In the left hand side 18. Right hand side in sulfuric acid 4 times. Then in water 2 times. In nitrogen dioxide 6 twos are 12. So together what is that? 12 plus 2, 14 plus 4, 18. So oxygen also both the side 18 atoms. All the atoms are equal on the reactant side as well as the product side. So the equation is balanced now. So the balance equation for this reaction is 1 mole of sulfur reacts with 6 moles of nitric acid, and as a result, 1 mole of sulfuric acid, 2 moles of water, and 6 moles of nitrogen dioxide are obtained as a product. Thank you so much for watching.